You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, welcome to episode 138 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Welcome to February, everybody. I'm your host, Sean, and with me today we have a special guest. Who are you?
Oh, I'm me.
You are you.
My name is Cory Robin.
Hello, Cory Robin.
And I recently had 15 minutes of fame.
Yes, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So you've been actually listening to the podcast for a little bit.
I enjoy listening to you go through some of the ideas and conversations you have because I can relate to a lot of them because life is difficult and sometimes these conversations don't happen.
It's true.
Yeah.
They don't. And so that's what the podcast is all about, talking about the things people don't talk about.
That's right. And it's the exact time it takes for me to get from home to work. So usually by the time I get to work, the episode is concluded. I've had my chuckle, a little bit of introspective, and I start my day.
Perfect. That's exactly what it's designed for. It's designed for a commute. It's designed to make you think and to make you laugh. And not too long ago, actually, I think I read your feedback on an episode, the one where we were talking about DAS and SAD.
DAS. Yeah, so I was walking to work one day, and I'm listening to the Soul Forge. I usually listen a few days late, so Tuesday, I want to say. So I'm walking, I get up to the top, and at the end, it's like, and remember, SAD backward is DAS. Or no, DAS backward is, what did you say that?
I think SAD spelled backwards is DAS, and DAS not good.
And DAS not good. And I moaned or groaned, threw my head back in the air, I was like, ah! And when I came back down, there was a lady standing in front of me. So it was awkward, and then I had to say something because rarely do I do anything and then something catches me like that off guard and gives me a response. I spent the rest of the day laughing and chuckling at myself that I would do that in a public way on the street.
That's a good day right
for
there.
Somebody chatting in my ear. It's hilarious.
It's ridiculous. When I saw that, I was like, I have to share that. It's totally stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And I cracked up when I saw it, so it had the desired effect.
And I believe that you need to, show support every now and again. So I do provide feedback to other people I listen to. I have written not quite fan letters, but hey man, I really enjoyed that today. Keep up the good work. I've said it to other, like my competition at the politicians.
Right.
I've said, hey, I really enjoyed the things you were putting out there. Yeah, I'm fighting against you, but at the same time, that was a good comment.
And I can tell you it's appreciated more than you know. Because it's rare when I get feedback, and you've given me feedback on both Rusted Robot and Soul Forge.
Yeah, I forget what it was for Rusted Robot.
I can't remember either, but
because it was, it was something what Josh was talking about. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. But I've also done, I was just thinking about that now. So with my politicians page from last year, I received feedback. And that reinforced many of the things that I was doing that I wasn't always quite sure of where I was going with some stuff. Mm-hmm. But then I would get a note. I heard you on this thing, or I met you in person. I just wanted to drop a personal line to say, I completely agree with you.
And it makes you feel like you're doing something, and you're acknowledged.
A little tiny bit of validation.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm not the only person to do that with. And
it doesn't take a lot.
Nope. Just recently with the Safer Streets meeting with the BIA downtown, which was January 8th, I made a comment. And after the comment was over and the question period was done, it was adjournment, I was approached by several people to say, we appreciated your comments. We appreciated, which is more fuel for the fire. Like, yeah, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing. What I'm doing speaks to my heart and soul and what I want to do. And to have little birdies come and sit down on your shoulder and say, thank you. Because you said what I wanted to say, but I'm too afraid.
Right. And we need people like that.
Yeah. And you gave a perspective that I had no idea about. Or you come from a different place than us. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not one of Timmins' elite. I didn't wake up into pomp and circumstance in this very small town. So I'm just a regular, everyday, ordinary guy.
You need that. You need people like that. It's important. And so the feedback, no matter how small, how does it make you feel? Validated? Is that the word you used?
Validate is the word. Encouraged is another word.
Oh, yes.
And just like thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for being there.
I got a bunch of emails to various social media, and it really, so one good comment on a post can undo the hurt of 1,000 hating people.
It's true. It's true. Because I do a lot of these episodes, and I'm like, I don't know if anybody's going to care. And then I think, maybe I should just stop the podcast because I'm just speaking into the void. And then as soon as I think that, an email or a comment will come through, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And it must be the same for you.
Yeah. It's am I in the right realm? I've withdrawn from social media because I want to focus my energy on other things and personal building, personal relationship building. Social media is a tool. It's not somewhere I really want to live anymore.
It's a time suck.
It's
like a part-time job sometimes.
And you end up comparing yourself to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And looking at everybody's happy moments. Yeah, I can post happy moments too, but I'd rather enjoy the happy moment and be part of it and create the memory than spend more time promoting said happy moment.
Right, you're curating it.
I'd
instead
rather
of living it.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather live the moment and take pictures of my memory as opposed to being behind an iPhone taking pictures.
I agree with that.
Because I go to a concert, I'm not recording it,
but
I might take a picture or two,
right,
just for my own memory. But I'm going to absorb every little bit of this.
But there's a lot of people watching the concert through their iPhone lens.
Well, it's great because you're standing there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit. I've been to like one concert, and it was Weird Al, and it was the greatest concert I've ever seen.
When was this?
This was the last March for the Ill-Advised Vanity Tour.
Okay.
Where he played without all the pomp and circumstance, his original hits.
Okay.
Which was the greatest thing I'm a big Weird Al fan.
I went and saw a concert in Aurelia about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and he probably... the big production with ours was at Danforth, and it was him and his band, and they were all just sitting down, chilling out, playing like "You Don't Love Me Anymore" and "Trigger Happy" and Mr. Frump's Iron Lung or Mr. Frump and the I don't know. But I could watch Weird Al do his thing.
Yeah. But
I could also watch Buddy's iPhone screen, which is a slightly different camera angle.
Yeah.
And I can also look over here and see Buddy's other iPhone screen.
Right.
So I could see Weird Al from 3 or 4 different angles with my own eyes.
Okay, right on.
I did take a couple of pictures.
Sure, a few here and there. But you want to enjoy the thing.
But I really enjoyed it. And that was actually my first real concert.
Really?
Yes, I'm deprived of these things.
My first real concert was Alanis Morissette in 1996 in, I think, Barry Molson Amphitheater or something. Mm-hmm. She's doing a 25-year anniversary tour of Jake Little Pill.
Yeah.
And now the tickets are $500. And I'm not going.
Well, it's because we're 25 years older now, and we can afford 25 or 250. Like, I know personally that I can't, but her market probably can.
Right.
Because we're all in our 40s now.
That's right.
Well, technically, I'm not 40 yet.
Oh, no?
I have a few more months.
Okay.
Yes. I'm trying not to do that whole, we're in our 40s.
But we are.
But I did get something cool. I guess cool is perspective. My optometrist told me that for my 40th birthday, I'm getting bifocals.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So I says, no, I'm not. And then I went back to work.
Okay.
So when I'm 42, I'll get bifocals.
There you go. There you go. You got to wait a little bit. Yeah, that's true. It makes sense. So we're going to talk about a little bit about your brush with fame and a brief foray into politics. But before we do that, you know what now is a good time for?
Now is a good time for another promo, for a promo. We love promos here on the ESO Network.
Yeah, we do. Let's play one right here.
Let's play one. Do it.
This is a Nerdlanta flashback featuring comic book artist Lawson Chambers.
Whenever people reboot things, there's this instinct to make it darker and grittier.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't need to see a darker, grittier Sonic the Hedgehog. That is wild to me. That, like, in our modern age, that a trailer for a movie could come out and fans could go, no, we hate the way that little blue man looks. Change it.
New podcast episodes will be available soon.
What did you think of that?
It was awesome.
Right?
I'm going to sign up for that one.
Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
Because they're amazing.
Because I like geeky stuff. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know it.
No, I would have no idea.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was the important person in the D&D club at school once upon a time.
Is that right?
That's right. I had the keys to the D&D club.
You must have gotten all the ladies.
I had all the ladies.
All of them.
All of them. There was 2, I think, in that room.
That's great.
I had to get them from the cafeteria to come over.
Ooh.
No, I'm kidding.
Right. Yeah.
No, it was a good group of us.
I bet.
Yeah.
And didn't you say before we started recording that my co-host Josh from the Rusted Robot podcast was in your group?
Yeah. That's how long I've known Josh.
At least 20 years.
So 20-something, since high school. And he was in that with his brother, and I had our friends. And there was probably about 8 or 9 of us playing something called Rifts
Oh, yes. Okay.
in the Palladium Sphere Megaverse.
Oh, fancy.
Yes, where you could yell, fire all the missiles, and you would fire all the missiles. And we would attack Terminators and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never played that.
No, it was pretty good. I actually converted all the characters from the Doom game into that universe.
Okay.
Because I'm an overachiever of some sort.
Why not?
Sure.
Because you could.
I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about this whole political career that you tried to start.
So I've always been loud spoken. I've always been a shy person, but I always have loud opinions. And I remember 2 summers ago, was it 3 summers ago? There was an event in town. The Timmins police shot a man on Gillies Lake, and he was from Cash.
I think I remember that.
Yes. And shortly thereafter, there was an incident with the Timmins police and the hospital where a nice old lady from Cash died.
Oh.
And we had the special investigator unit come in. And that was over the wintertime. And I started to think, okay, you know what we need in Timmins? We need an Aboriginal voice who is not afraid to be a target, not afraid to be that.
So just for some background, Cash,
It's Saskatchewan First Nation.
the First Nation Reserve.
Up north, yes. And that's, Cash and Fort Albany are together, but separate. So Cash is an offshoot of Fort Albany. There's politics there, and there's a bit of history that I don't really want to get into because I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
But that's my home nation.
Okay.
That's where my mother's from, that's where my grandmother's from.
Okay.
So having those events with that First Nation attached to it, I'm thinking, okay, we got to do something. It'd be nice to do something. I want to drive a conversation to address some of the racism. And then when the Ontario General Secretary of whatever her name was, she comes and says unequivocally, Timmins is racist. It has severe systemic racism in our town.
And I don't think anybody would deny that.
No. But a lot of people don't understand what systemic racism is. And that's where you've normalized racism to the point where
You don't even notice
you
it?
don't even notice.
Yeah.
And I grew up being part of this, and my stories about my experiences and things like that, I share with other white people, and they're like, that's never happened to me. Oh, that's never happened to you. Oh, that happens to me all the time. So I wanted to be that, but not just on that drum. I wanted to say, I want to represent First Nation interests. I want to be a First Nation on council. I want to have that perspective, and through my job, I'm allowed to go out and be public in the mining sector, be public at the mining shows, and talk. So I've got experience talking. So with that, and with my economic background, I was thinking, what does our current city council look like? And I use the term rock stars. They're a bunch of rock stars. They're a bunch of, why are you even on council? What are you bringing to the table?
They've been there forever.
You've been there forever.
Yeah.
You're in communications. Okay, that's great. You're a teacher. Okay, that's great. You're a retired fireman. Okay, that's great. Can any of you read a financial statement?
No?
No. Well, there's one. There's a CPA. Joe Campbell's actually a trained financial guy. So I'm thinking, okay, well, why are there no bankers? Why are there no industry professionals? Why are there no government guys representing our city that relies on mining?
That's a good question.
Why did we spend millions of dollars on a concert?
Stars and Thunder.
Yeah. Well, I understand the reasoning behind Stars and Thunder. It brought in good tourism dollars. It gave us something in our city to talk about and do, and my kids loved the 8 days of fireworks. But then that was 100 and some % of the city's disposable income.
Right.
It didn't impact the budget per se, as in the day-to-day operations, but it was the amount of money the councillors can just do whatever they want with. In my home, every 2 weeks I have a bunch of money that I can do whatever I want with, and that's what I'll buy my video games with or whatever like that. But imagine if I took my annual free money and spent it on a concert ticket.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to spend the entire year going, oh, I can't buy a beer this weekend or we can't go out, or, oh, the propane tank's empty. Oh, well, it's a good thing we went to that concert.
Good thing we saw Alanis Morissette for $500 each.
Yeah, if me and my fiance went to Alanis Morissette, which would sound really cool, I would not be hosting barbecues at my house for months.
No, because that's going to be $1,000 just for tickets on the grass. That's not even the good seats. Plus the gas to get there, the hotel room, the food, all the things.
The whole shebang, right?
Yeah.
So in my arguments and my conversations, I'm like, I like the idea of that kind of stuff, but they're going about it all wrong. And the more I spoke about that, the more people were agreeing with me. And so between that conversation of the variety of people on city council, the lack of really Indigenous involvement in city politics or the running of the city, where the money was going, and my pure ambition, can I actually do that? Is this part of my personal mantra of always be better tomorrow than you were today?
It's a good motto.
And I've been doing that for 15 years now. Decided that every year, every day, I want to be a little bit better, a little bit more trained, a little bit more experienced than I was yesterday. I want to be a better dad than I was yesterday. I want to be a better employee than I was yesterday. I want to be more trained or more educated than I was yesterday. So all of those things together, with this personality of mine that I have, that I was gifted with, that I forged out of fire, so to speak.
Okay.
I sat there and I was driving home from Matheson. We visited my fiance's parents and we went for supper, and I was driving back. And I was driving and it's coming up, and I looked and I says, I think I want to run for council.
And she said,
okay.
just like that.
Just like that. Okay.
It's good to have support.
And it was that was easy. But then she started to challenge me. Why? What are you doing? What's going on? Let's do this. But this is you're gonna be bathed in fire.
And you were.
You're gonna come out either shattered or stronger. Because that's how you make a sword. You can't make a strong steel unless you heat it up and reform it.
Exactly.
Otherwise it'll just shatter the first time you use it.
So in a sense, you knew that you were going to be forging your soul.
I see what you did there.
Right? Not
That's
bad,
nice.
eh?
I like that. Yeah. That's pretty profound. I'm going to sit and think on that one for a moment. That's very true. Because that's part of the events of your life where you decide where you want to be and how you're going to get there. And some of those things are challenging. Some of those things are hard to get over, hard to get through. And you either come out broken or stronger.
Yep, exactly.
And I came out of that broken but stronger.
Okay, that makes sense.
This is Kitty from Jump City Comics, and you're listening to the Soul Forge podcast. Forge your soul.
We had spoke about after my 15 minutes of fame, and we got the results sitting at my kitchen table.
Because you ran for Ward 5 councillor.
I ran for Ward 5 councillor, and there are 4 spots in Ward 5. I thought I'd do pretty good with 4 spots, and one of them was resoundingly disliked. So I knew he was probably going to be going, and I was hoping to take his spot. What I didn't expect was to lose half of them and get 2 new people in. I was hoping to be one of those 2 new people, but it didn't work out. I was number 5, and they needed 4.
Ouch.
And I was short by 2.
You lost by 2 votes.
I lost by 2 votes. And I remember the first thing I did was I emailed the city clerk, and I'm like, recount! But I named it better than that. I'm like, I officially request a recount on behalf of them.
You were all formal and
Blah,
official.
blah,
and
yeah.
yeah.
So then I got a note back. I think I got a note back almost right away that we will grant you a recount, but wait for the official response.
Of course.
An official response came a few days later.
Not bad.
And they had to pull all the ballots together.
Mm-hmm.
They had to organize between me and Andrew Marks to sit down and recount them all. They had to get all the clerks people and their machines back and all these boxes. And
It was a big production.
it was a hullabaloo there. It
Yeah.
took 8 hours. And the media was just sitting there over in the corner, and there was they were not allowed to take pictures or report on nothing the whole day. They kept being told, don't do that. But I took pictures because I'm a candidate.
Of course.
And I could do what I want.
Nice.
So I remember sitting away in the back, and I took out my phone, and I took a picture. I think like 3 people know about this story. And I took a picture of the 4 of them all lined up. The media.
Okay.
And the 4 reporters in Timmins. It's like Moose and so on. So I'm sitting next to Mr. Marks. We've already looked at all of the ballots, and our job was to confirm that we agree that these ballots are good.
Okay.
So if somebody took a strike line through it, it might spoil the ballot. Or if somebody, we needed to just visually inspect, and we did. We looked at them all. At the end of the day, we're like, These are all good. So now we had to sit there and wait for them to feed into the machine for the official count.
Of course.
So there was like 2 hours of me sitting in the spectator spot.
Just sitting there.
Just sitting there. And we're talking vodka, we're talking barbecues, we're talking like futures and all kinds of stuff. He's a nice guy. I enjoyed chatting with him.
I worked with him at the call center back in the day.
Yes, I was there when he was the boss. So we had this nice long chat, and it was a whole day of spending time with him. But there was a spot where I looked over, took my phone out, took a picture of just the media, none of the other stuff that's going on, just the media, and I posted it to my Facebook page.
The official...
The Robin on Council page.
Okay.
As this is what I'm doing today. Maybe 30 seconds later, one of them pipes up, "Oh my God, is the CD camera still on?" So they all tried to figure out because they broadcast the meeting. So there's a webcam in the back of the room.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So they're trying to figure out where this picture comes from. But nobody really, it's on my personal Facebook page. I'm the only one who could do that.
Yeah, of course.
But there is this panic. It's a view from that angle, not from that angle, but from that section of the room.
Right, okay.
But not as high up, of them. And they're like, "Is that on? It shouldn't be on. You better check if it's on." So then a phone comes out and the clerk is like, "Oh, it's just no. And I kind of walk over and they're like, "You can't post that. Is that public? Is that on Facebook? Where is that coming from? You can't do that. You can't have this." And I'm watching them have like this little existential meltdown of someone who broke the rule. Because you couldn't take a picture of the process of recount.
But you could take a picture of the people.
But I took a picture of the reporters.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey guys, hey, chill. It's me. What? I'm like, yeah, I took that. Because they were in danger of getting in serious trouble for putting a picture. Because they wouldn't be able to share it.
Yes.
Because so only I had it.
Uh-huh.
So I let it sit up there for a little while, and then I took it down because they were having a really hard time processing that. So I took it down just to, okay guys, relax. It's an in-joke picture. I'm just a candidate here.
Yeah.
This isn't as serious as you think. This isn't like...
They were all freaking out.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. So when that was done, we put all the numbers in, and then it comes back going 25 and 2502. It's like 2540 something. I can't remember the exact number, but 2500 is a rounding. And he had 2 more than me. I shook his hand. I got my picture in the paper of me shaking his hand. That picture in the article is framed in my office.
Nice.
And then I left. And then he did his chats and his interviews and everything else. And then I left. And then the post 15 minutes of fame probably started about 3 or 4 days later after all that cycle was done.
Because you had a huge campaign. I remember it. Like, you were all over social media. You were all over town. Your signs were everywhere.
Yeah. We spent... the limit for spending before you have to get an official audit from an accountant is $10,000.
Okay.
So I spent like $9,500.
Holy crap.
And half of that was raised from regular people. Because I basically, hey, if I can get 100 people to give me $100,
yeah,
it's all paid for.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I got 50.
50 people?
I got 30 people. And then some people actually, here's a bit more chunk, a bit more cash.
So it wasn't all your own personal cash?
About half.
Okay, not bad.
I think I ordered 2,000 signs. And that was $5,000.
Oof.
I think I ended up spending $700 just on Facebook spending.
On the targeted advertising?
Just on, sponsored post.
Okay.
Which was very effective. Tens of thousands of people.
Oh, right on.
Like seen it.
Yep.
Because Facebook tells you.
Oh, I saw it all the time. It was incessant.
Yeah. That's the job, right?
Of course. It worked.
$1,000 on radio. $1,000 in the press for that little thing at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
All the time and work, and I don't know how to design those, so I had somebody else make them for me. And he did it for peanuts as a favor.
Nice.
Which was wonderful.
Oh, for sure.
So I did all that. I put my heart and soul into it, and then now I have to do...
Lost by 2.
Lost by 2, and now it's the end of that, and now 15 minutes of fame are over, and then what?
And you'd been out there in the public for months or weeks. How long was the campaign?
So I started... The election day was October 28th.
Of which year?
2018.
Okay.
I started Aboriginal Day, I thought would be a good day to start, which was June 16th or something.
I think that's right.
Something like that, 2008.
Yeah.
2nd or 3rd. Anyway, so almost 6 months.
Okay, long enough.
Of campaigning, with my face everywhere. And
Yeah.
I had booths, and I was all over the place.
Yeah, you were.
I went from being no one to sidelong glances while I'm checking out for groceries now.
Hey, I know your face.
I know where you're from. I know who you're at.
Yeah.
And that's the aftermath of the 15 minutes. I'm trying to I tried to withdraw back to being a regular dude, but I can't.
And you still can't, even 2 years later?
Yeah, it's not something that's going to come. I've put my face out there. Now everybody knows me.
You're a public figure in
And
town.
I'm a minor celebrity, and people know me because of that.
Yeah.
And when I withdrew from the politics was over, I'm involved in other boards now. I'm a board member with the Chamber of Commerce because again I'm involved in economic development and representing the businesses. I'm with the Northern Ontario Angels, which is again economic development.
Okay.
I work for an economic development agency, Anishinaabe Development Fund. I run Northern Ontario's biggest Aboriginal financing grant.
Oh, really?
So if you are a small business anywhere in Northern Ontario and you're Aboriginal and you want to see if there's any free money or programs for you, I'm the guy you call.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So all of that stuff. So I've removed myself from being out there in social media and out there and that kind of stuff. But I've decided that I'm going to be continuing to work towards the goal of making our city a better place, but not from a council perspective. And I don't want to campaign for 4 years.
No. Do you think you'll run for council again eventually? Maybe.
If the cards are lined up right now the way they were then, I think I will.
Okay.
I think I will.
But it's not a guarantee.
I did save my signs.
Good call.
So I put them all. They're in a spot in my basement.
If I remember correctly, they were yellow and red.
They were yellow and red.
Yeah.
That's the medicine wheel colors.
Okay.
And I didn't put Ward 5 on them. I didn't put the year.
Good call.
I didn't put nothing on them except my name, so that if it comes up again.
Reuse them.
Yep.
See, I don't remember anybody else's color of signs, but I remember yours. That was effective.
Yeah. Well, they were all very nondescript.
Yes.
Blue and white or red and white or.
Yeah.
Did you know it's extra money to have extra cards, extra colors on there?
I didn't.
Which I did not know.
No.
It's like, oh, you want another color on there? That's another 30 cents each.
Oof.
Oh, well, that works out to $300-400.
Yeah.
Yay!
For one color.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that's where I'm at now. I'm my 15 minutes of fame are up, but I'm still working hard towards trying to make our city a better place.
Good. Somebody needs to.
And if in 3 more years the stars are lined up the way they are, I will likely run again.
Well, a lot can happen in 3 years.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Kids will be a little bit older.
Yep.
I'll get to meet more exciting people like yourself, who I just met today.
Yeah, like we've run into each other in the past, but we never actually had a sit-down conversation.
That's right.
So
That's right.
A little bit of when I was your mailman, getting your signature for an item. Ran into you at the Northern Ontario Expo last year.
Yeah, you introduced yourself to me at the expo.
Yeah.
And this was probably my first public appearance post defeat. Okay. And I just really wanted to be a monk with a really low robe.
Yes.
And I was there for the kids, but I couldn't put the mantle of being a politician on because it was broken.
Right.
And it took a long time for that to fabricate itself again.
Of course, because you had put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And then,
And then I come to terms. Yeah, there's a point where I accepted the loss, and like, okay, well that's the thing. Let's move on to the next big challenge, the next big exciting thing.
yeah, and it was so close. You can't really consider it a loss. It was just 2 votes.
I know.
So close.
No, it's like getting the difference between 99% and 98% on a test.
That's right.
Like that difference doesn't matter at this point.
No.
But those two were the difference between having a seat at the table and not.
That's true.
So while I took the loss as, oh my God, I got defeated, it was the worst thing ever, over time I realized that, I really did win. I just didn't win by enough.
Exactly.
And the guy after me was 1,000 votes different.
See? So close.
So I look at it no longer as I lost my bid for council. I look at it now as I won, but I didn't win by enough.
Right.
I was too shy of the extra win.
And that happens. So
that's a difference between going to sleep.
So you reframed it in your mind.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. And I'm really bad for ruminating over stuff.
Of course.
So I sit there and I go over everything over and over and over again. So
I can't relate to that at all.
once I made that reframing in my mind of the result of that, I sleep a lot better and I can go through life and I can make conversations and when I'm stopped at the grocery store and talk about politics or I voted for you, I know how to say, thank you. I may need your support again, but I really appreciate your support.
So it's been a lot of learning
Oh yeah,
on
for
how
sure.
to act in public and how to feel about everything.
How to deal with anything.
Yeah,
How to deal with anything. You have social anxiety? Running for council cures that.
I bet it does. No doubt.
You have self-esteem problems? Standing in front of the entire city almost naked might fix that.
It might.
It might cause other problems.
Yes.
But that's kind of like you bar everything and then you see where the cards lay in, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, well, what worse could happen?
Not much. No. You expose yourself in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And so, overall, all this time later, what is the one major takeaway that you have from this experience?
You need to be an open and honest person to yourself and to everybody you talk to, because people will see through your crap.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Really fast. And if you're lying to yourself, you're never going to get anywhere.
True.
You got to know who you are, know what your faults are, understand where you are, and be one with yourself before you can do that. Because yeah, if you're misrepresenting yourself as something you're not, people will see it.
You're building a flimsy house of cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, and no, you can't.
yeah. And one good bluster will take it all down.
It will. And so that's good for not just politics, that's just for living your life.
Absolutely.
So I hope our listeners are taking something away from that.
Good.
Yeah.
You should.
Definitely. You said you've taken a break from social media, but if somebody wants to follow you on our Twitter or Instagram or any of that stuff, is that something you'd like to share?
Well, on Twitter, I am Cory Robin, which is my name backwards,
Okay.
which is from an old video game my buddy made. So it's NIBORYROC. Do I post on there? No.
No.
Sometimes, but it is there. I'm also on Facebook with Robin in the City.
Robin in the
I
City.
changed it from Robin on Council to Robin in the City.
Okay.
And those are my public Facebook stuff.
Okay.
But I'm kind of like they're still there. They're percolating, and if I need them, they're there.
Right.
And if I do, because I don't want to commit to anything,
Yeah.
but if I do upgrade my thinking to running again, then I'll reactivate those and they'll be full. So if you want to catch updates on what's going on in the coming months or the next couple of years, drop a like.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for coming by the Forge. Appreciate you telling your story.
Thank you for having me. It was nice. I like it here.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. We should have recorded the whole thing before we even started recording.
Yeah, but then it would be all afternoon.
That's true. That's true. So we shouldn't do that. But anyway, appreciate it. And listeners, thanks for coming by and listening to us chat about random things. Hope you took away a lot of stuff from it, because I sure did. Until next time, remember, take care of each other, have fun, and remember that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
Do you enjoy pop culture? Of course you do. You're already listening to pop culture podcasts here on the ESO network. The Rusted Robot podcast discusses movies, trailers, TV shows, space and robot news, and so much more. Won't you please join us for a pop culture overload wherever you listen to podcasts? TheRustedRobot.podbean.com, a proud partner of the Soul Forge podcast here on the ESO network.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.